couple of announcements before I proceed to the content. Let's see if Tokyo is ready too. Ready, cameraman?
Yes.
Good. Okay, so go to CTL with me. I need to give you a couple of announcements before we get started. Go to CTL, go to PDS. In particular, take a look at the quiz and final exam schedule. This is already available for you to check for the final exam and the quiz. We have the quiz on the next Tuesday. Clear? Now, important, the exam is 1 week after the quiz. Yes. But please do your best in the quiz. Now, what do I mean? The quiz is 10% and the exam is 40%, right? That's why we call it quiz. The score is smaller than the exam, but I warn you, if the exam has to be canceled, then the quiz score will replace the exam score. Keep this in mind, yeah? Are you aware that this morning Omicron variant virus is discovered in South Korea? We found 5 cases of Omicron virus in South Korea. So my point is, we do not know what's going to happen. We do not know if we have to go back to online platform again. Yeah? Indeed, I think there is a possibility that next semester we have to go back to the online classes again. Alright? So in the worst case, the final exam could be cancelled. Now, if the final exam is cancelled, then the quiz score will replace the exam score. Indeed, this is the reason why I give you the quiz before the exam. Yeah? The quiz is designed to be like a second time, i.e., if you take the quiz and then all of a sudden the exam has to be cancelled, then we will have no problem, right? If I give you only one exam and then the exam has to be cancelled, then the question is, how are we going to organize the exam online? And that's complicated. So we will take the quiz, and that means for the quiz you have to do your best. You cannot think like, I will give up the quiz because I don't have time, and then I'll make it up in the exam. Right? A lot of students think that way, but don't do it. Because if the exam is cancelled, then you are in a deep trouble. Yeah? Indeed, on another note, we need to keep in mind that nothing can happen if you consistently follow the news, like effective of the vaccine against the new variant of Omicron, then the news is that it's not good. The CEO of Moderna, Stefan Basil, said it in the most straightforward way that it's going to take some time before the it's going to take some time before the vaccine is updated to deal with Omicron. As of now, the scientists at Moderna says it's not looking good. The prospect is not good. It will take some time. All right. So after the final exam, we have like 2 or 3 months. Yeah, and these 2 or 3 months would be the time that is vital and crucial in the sense that during these 2 or 3 months, we are going to know if we could get back to face-to-face class again, or we need to resume online platform. Clear? Good? So we have to keep this in mind. That is one thing that I want to mention. Another thing is, I already provide you with this one here. Click here. This is what I call study guide. I give this to you for all classes. I mean all subjects, not only OPM, right? If you click on study guide, it is exactly what it is. That is, these are going to be all you need for the quiz and exam. Clear? I say chapter 4. This is your reading. This is your exercise file in Word format. This is your solution to the exercises in the Excel file. Okay? Clear? In Excel format. And then I will say, read the following section. So read section 4.5, 4.6, blah, blah, blah. Read them, and then do these exercises. So when I say exercise 12, it means you are going to, of course, open the exercise file for chapter 4. You will go to exercise number 12, and you are going to solve them. See? So read and then check the solution file and then solve the exercises. This is going to be the most effective way that you can prepare for the exam. Clear to you? Good. Another point, if I teach you how to calculate manually, you have to know how to calculate manually. If I teach you how to calculate by Excel, you need to know how to do it by Excel. If I teach you both ways, you have to know both ways. Clear? Good? Okay. Excellent, yes.
I can't find the Excel solution of chapter 16, so can you check once, please?
Oh yeah, for the chapter 16.
On the last chapter,
Excellent. Actually, we don't need it, but
we don't need the Excel.
for that chapter, but I can add it. I'll do it now, actually. Good. Good point. Thank you for letting me know. I think I can do it now. If the file is not too big, then we can, excellent. Now we have it here, new one. Chapter 16. I make a stupid typo, but I think nobody cares. New one. Good. So we're going to begin a new chapter 2. It's kind of like a small chapter, but at the same time, it's kind of interesting. So we will see. Before I go to that though, I want to show you some interesting articles related to a question raised by some students in the previous class. I think there was a question of when we do the inventory control model, we recall that the total inventory cost is equal to total holding cost or the storage cost plus the total ordering cost, remember? So what I wrote was something like this. That is, if you increase this, you need to reduce this, or vice versa, or it has to be the opposite, right? So there is a trade-off, and you have to find a proper balance between the two. If you order often, then you have to pay higher for the ordering cost, but at the same time, you are going to reduce the holding cost, because if you don't order a lot, it means that you don't order, so it means that you are going to order often. Let me reiterate. You order often, so it means that each time you don't order a lot, not big quantity. So it means that the holding cost could be low, all right? You don't need to store the products a lot. So I think there was a question of whether you can reduce both at the same time, yeah? And my answer to that question was yes. If you can advance the technology. I think I remember who asked me that question. I think you asked me that question, right? So just yesterday, actually 2 days ago, I raised some interesting articles. So you can try to find the articles together with me. Go to this website. It's good for you to know, by the way. Follow me then. Seeking Alpha. As a matter of fact, I do have an annual membership with Seeking Alpha, but some of the articles are like free for the public. Go to Seeking Alpha and then type here DSGX, Descartes. So here, if you are here, click this one. The article here, Descartes System e-commerce management solution adopted by sportspar.de. So what is this? It's precisely what we were mentioning. This one here, take a look at this. So this is a company, I think it's a Canadian company or American company, I don't remember exactly. I think it's Canadian, but the stock is listed in NASDAQ. So what does it do? It provides technology. It provides the technology so that you can reduce both. It's exactly that, yeah? So I said before that in order to reduce both, you need to be able to predict the demand of your clients, right? You need to know exactly, and you need to be able to have a clear prediction of the demand of your clients, first of all. Second, you need to know to be able to predict when your order is going to arrive, right? When we order the product, even if it says it's going to arrive today, it may not arrive today. Keep in mind that during the COVID-19, this kind of situation becomes even more complicated, yeah? Let's say your product is from Wuhan or somewhere in China. What are you going to do if there is a breakout in China, right? Or if your product or a certain part of your product is in Europe, what are you going to do? Because Germany is locking down and Austria has locked it down, right? So in this kind of case, of course, the prediction in terms of demand and arrival time of order, etc., it has to be very exactly predicted, yeah, to be able to take control of this. So these days, what does like big firms do? The big firms like Amazon or see here, like this website, is actually like Amazon of Germany. It sells like fashion products, etc. Right? Sportspar.de. They sell clothes. They sell everything. Yeah. So what do? They purchase the technology. They purchase the technology that allow them to precisely calculate this. All right? And the company that provides the technology is called Descartes. Yeah? So you can see that they claim that this is the truth. We don't know if this is the truth, but they say that using the new technology by Descartes, the German fashion retailer has increased its ability to ship customer orders by 500%. See? It's a management solution. It's a warehouse management solution. It's exactly a storage management solution. It's a software. Clear? So the software would allow the companies to, you see, ship the right items. Do not oversell existing inventory. Do you know what this means? Oversell existing inventory. It means that you order and the next day the order is cancelled. This happens to me all the time in Gmarket. I complain to them several times. Yeah? I order the product, right? And the next day is cancelled. They say that the product is not available, it's out of stock, etc. I complain because, first of all, it's not my mistake, right? If you put on your website that it can be ordered, it's supposed to mean that you know that it's in stock. Isn't it? You have to know already that you have the products, and that's why you allow the clients to order. It's not like what has happened to us several times, right? We order and they find out that they don't have the stock. This is stupid. I complained to them several times. Why? Another reason is that several times they offer me like coupon, right? If you go to Gmarket, you get the coupon to use for the discount. So I use the coupon and then I order the product and then it's out of stock and my order is cancelled, right? But what does that mean? They also remove my coupon. I cannot use the coupon to get the discount for another product, right? So I said, if you cancel my order, you need to give me back the coupon. You cannot do this. You cancel my order, you cancel my coupon at the same time. What's this, right? So this is the kind of situation that happened. See? Do not sell existing inventory. So there has to be a certain system or technology that does exactly this, right? So Descartes, listed in NASDAQ, is exactly that kind of company. All right, good. So here, if you read, I'll show you some interesting news article as well, because I think we do have a little bit of time today, because the next chapter is a very short chapter. If you click on the first article, you can try to click it by yourself here. So they announced, this company, Descartes, they announced earnings or income from the previous quarter, just 2 days ago. Take a look at the articles, December 1st. So this is just on, I think, yesterday. Yeah. So they announced the earnings, and it turns out that the earning is very good. It's very, very positive, and if you read it, which I highly suggest you to read, you would find that they explain in particular that one of the reasons why the company has a lot of income is because all the firms, they have the same problem. Like Amazon, Gmarket, every e-commerce company, they have the same problem, right? They oversell existing product. They find it hard to control the inventory. Why? Because keep in mind that during the pandemic, everyone orders online, right? So all of a sudden, they have to deal with all these problems. And we also have more problems, as I said, several times we order, it's out of stock, blah, 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 it's delayed. So all these e-commerce companies, they find a necessity to improve the inventory control technology, right? And that's why it says here, you see, I have already highlighted it. Descartes is doing well because the customers are also doing well. Who are the customers? Example would be like Sports Spa that I showed you just now. All the e-commerce companies, right? Those like Gmarket, etc. If they have to sell the products during the pandemic, then they have to use a better technology. So like this kind of company is a company that is kind of like the winner during the pandemic. That is, although the pandemic hurts most of the firms, these are the firms that are actually the winner, right? Their technologies become much more in high demand. You see? That's why the CEO say the results are not surprising because the customers are doing well, right? See? And let me see if I could highlight more interesting phrases. See? As they, I mean like these e-commerce companies, they have more transaction, they also have more income. As they have more income, they know that they need to use the income to improve the inventory control management. Yeah? And that's why they begin to purchase the desk cutter system to take care of this. Good. Okay, so I think that's enough. I have another interesting anecdote just to mention in case that it's interesting to you, but I think it's interesting for you. So typically, if you click here, for example, if you click on the doc, not Excel, not PDS, let me see if I could show you. So if you use a Google document, yeah, when you use Google document, for example, you don't need to download the app, right? It's the same with like the new Microsoft Office. You don't need to download the app. You just use it online. In this kind of case, we call it, of course, cloud-based system, right? In the past, you need to download the whole word processor. You need to download PowerPoint in your computer. You need to download Microsoft Word in your computer to be able to use it. But this they know, right? Just log in and you can use it online. Cloud-based system. Now, how is this related to the desk cutter? Desk cutter is, interestingly, one of the first company in the world that began using the system. Okay? This means that all these technology by desk cutter, like inventory management system, right? The firms that use their technology do not need to install a program. And that's why they're doing well. It gets more convenient. Previously, it's just like us, right? To control the inventory, you need to install the technology in your computer. You need to install the inventory control, like Excel QM is the same, right? Excel QM, we have tried that to install and then use the program to do it. But if you use the desk cutter system, no. You just use it like a cloud system, just like the Microsoft Office cloud that we use. Yeah. So desk cutter was one of the first firms in the world that begin to experiment with the cloud-based software, and later on, they shift to this kind of technology. And during the pandemic, they are the winner. Okay, good. Later on, if you're more interested, you can ask me questions. And this is very interesting. I suggest you to read it. On another note, I might mention a few more things. So see, for example, the CEO announced the performance of the company, right? The earnings, which was very good. So after the CEO announced the earnings, they have like a Q&A session. Now it gets interesting. So one of the questions that was raised by the news reporter asked, what is your opinion on the new virus? How would that impact your firm? Right? So his answer is, it seems like if the virus continue, the firm will continue to be the winner too. Why? Because see here, if the customers, I mean Amazon or Gmarket, etc., if they need help to control the inventory, they will continue to use our service. Right? Like that. Good? The rest, read it by yourself. It's kind of interesting. There are like questions and discussion on the impact of the new virus on like world logistics system, etc. I'll leave this to you because we don't have time. We need to proceed to the new chapter. So the rest, let's continue. We are going to continue by taking a look at the new chapter. So go to CDL PDS, download all the files that we're going to need. Chapter 16, quality control models. All right. So here I call this statistical quality control. What is it? First of all, when we say quality control, what do we mean? We mean exactly that. We have to control the quality. Now, if you want to see like some picture, you can try to have a look at some picture to allow you to visualize. Let me see if I could find the picture for you. Yeah, so what you want to try is the following. Go to Google if you want to see the photo. Inspection quality control. I can type here furniture boxes. Inspection quality control furniture boxes. Yeah? And then click on image as an example. So here, what they need to do is like this in China. Let me see if I could show you the picture. If you ever order this kind of product from China, like furniture, then you know what kind of problem it is. Quality. Say, the company, they make plastic furniture, and then if the length here is not equal to the length here, what's going to happen? Can you sit? You can, but you're going to sit like this because the two legs are not equal, right? A lot of cheap furnitures are like that. So this is what I mean. The quality is not good because of what? The machine has to have a problem. If the machine is good, it's not going to produce a chair like this, right? If the machine is good, then the left hand side is 30 centimeter. The right hand side has to also be 30 centimeter. It has to be equal. But if the machine is not good, then the process is not good. You can have here 30, here is 28. 30 centimeter, 28 centimeter, and then you're going to have a problem, right? Clients cannot sit properly. Or my real life experience would be a product like this. I'm not sure if you have seen this before. Let me see if I could show you. Yep. I ordered this from China and it was a pain. These support laptop arm. So this is kind of like a, I call it, yep, is a work from home kind of product. You see? So here, it means that when you take a look at your notebook, you don't need to always look down, right? Notebook is not designed to use like this. When you use like this, you are looking like this. If you use a notebook, your head has to always be down, right? So the question is how to solve the problem like this. You are lifting the whole notebook up, right? So you're using your notebook as if it is a PC, You see? So in this way, it solves a lot of problem, but I can tell you that I had a lot of problem with it because the quality control was not good. Why? If you want to do this, then this here and this here, it has to be balanced. If these two sides are not balanced, what's going to happen? Your notebook will look like this. I had a problem with that too, right? So this is like a very small thing, if you think about it, but it causes a lot of problem because you cannot watch the screen like this all the time. You need to find a way to fix it. So I fix it by myself using tissue paper. I insert the tissue paper some way somehow to make it balanced, right? But my point is, what's going on is because the Chinese company that typically make this kind of product, they don't do this one. They don't do a proper quality control of the product, right? Good. So we have to understand at least the basic of how the quality control can be done. So here, the idea is the following. Take a look at the photo here that I try to show you. The idea is that usually after you make the product, you need to measure it. Like from here to here, how many centimeter? From here to here, how many centimeter? Right? The issue is you are not going to be able to check every piece of the product. If you are the Chinese company who make this kind of furniture, you ship the product all over the world. Keep in mind, if you ship the products all over the world, of course, you cannot check every share. That's not possible. So what are you going to do? You need to sample. Okay? Today, I will pick up only 100 chairs. Okay? I will randomly check. Only 100 chairs. I pick up 100 chairs and then I will check if the quality is good or no. Right? So like this. See? You need to measure and you need to check. Yeah? So here, you need to check, of course, and then you record it using paper if you are low tech. But my point is, if you wanna check the length, then we are dealing with this one here, the X bar. Okay? What do I mean? Let's solve an exercise together to be clear. Yep. I'll go straight to the exercise, and this is going to allow you to understand better. I'm going to teach you the difference between this and this, first of all. Keep in mind, this is X bar. What is this one? X bar bar.
X bar.
Yeah? So if you're taking the statistic class, I use the word mean of the sample mean. Mean of the mean. Mean is X bar, right? Mean of the mean is X bar bar. Alright? I teach this in statistics too. So we are going to learn the difference between this, and then we will learn what this is. R here is, of course, range. Yeah? And then I have X bar chart, R bar chart, and then I wrote here the keyword is variability. So we want to control the quality using statistics. And then when we control the quality, we are going to make a chart like this. Alright? Like this. The question is, how are we going to make the chart? And how do we do the quality control? Let's try to solve the exercise together. Yeah? So reference first, if you open the PowerPoint, I'm going to begin from here. Figure 16.1. This is slide number 8. Slide number 8, 16.1. I'm going to cover 16.1 until approximately 16 point, let's see, 16.1 until 1628. Alright? So cover it, just to be clear, slide 16.1 to 16.28. This is going to be the cover. Good for the reading. Now, important thing is to go back to the slide 16.8. The slide 16.8, you see the chart like this, and the question is, what is this chart, and how can we deal with it? Yeah. So here, I will give you a small introduction first. We are going to try to make the chart together, and if we make the chart and we see something like this, it means that there is a problem with your quality and you have to check. Yeah? So if you make the chart, it goes like this. We say the process is out of control. Clear? Let me reiterate. If it's like this, the process is out of control. Like this, the process is in control. When I say the process, what do I mean? Production process. Yeah? So here, there is no problem with your machine. But then, if you make a graph and it looks like this, what does that mean? It means that you need to check the machine. If you are building the chair, like a plastic chair that I show you, then you need to go back and take a look at the machine. What's going wrong with the machine, right? And then we have to check that. There has to be a problem with the machine. So here, our goal is to make the chart. But to be able to make the chart, let's try to experiment together. Turn with me. We will go directly to the exercise because we do not have time. And this kind of thing you are going to understand more if you practice the exercise anyway. We will go straight to the exercise file and we are going to solve the question 1611. Okay? So here, let's read the question. The question says, small boxes of Nutraflake cereals are labeled net weight 10 ounces. So what does this mean? This is a control in terms of weight. You think this way. When you buy, for example, cereal, right? Whatever the products that you buy, actually, they will say like this. Take a look at the photo. The photo will say, see here, 510 grams, right? But in reality, what you get is only approximately 510 grams, i.e., it is impossible that the firm would be able to make sure that for every single box is always 510 grams, right? A clearer example would be like if you go to like any local restaurant, very simple one, yeah? Not like the industrialized one. Sometimes you order and on that day you get less than usual. Or on some day, they give you more than usual, right? Why is that? Because they don't think that they need to control the quantity of the product, right? But for the industrialized product like this that is sold all over the world, it has to be exactly this. If you promise the client 510 grams per box, it has to be exactly this, right? But in reality, you might not have this. It means that this time I purchase, I get 500 grams. So 10 grams is missing. You get it? Or I could get like 515 grams. So I get a little bit more. Because the cereal is like this, right? Small piece, small piece, small piece. So here, if like 2 or 3 pieces are missing, maybe it's only 500 grams, right? 10 grams are missing. If 2 or 3 pieces are added, it becomes about 510 grams. It could be 520 or 515, right? So here, the issue is you need to check the machine. The machine that allocate the portion into the box. And here, in the factory, we are going to make an inspection. Now, after you produce the cereals, you are going to check. All right? Now, take a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You see? I have 5, and then I have box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. So we need to begin to understand this. Now, use your common sense and tell me, how many times did you sample? According to the question. How many times did you sample? 4 or 5? 4 or 5 times? Which one? 4 times or 5 times? How many times did you sample per day? 5 times. You need to separate between this. You are going to sample 5 times. Clear? And for each sample, how many boxes? Only 4 boxes, right? So you need to separate. So it means that like in the morning, maybe I produce 1,000 boxes of cereal. I will randomly choose only 4 boxes. See? And then at noon, I'm going to do the same. What do I mean? Again, the factory will produce 1,000 boxes, and then I will pick up only 4 boxes. Right? As I say, if you are selling the product for the whole America, then you cannot sample every box. That's impossible. You might be selling million boxes per, I don't know, per month or so, right? You need to sample. So here, it means that per day, you are going to make 5 samples. Clear? In the morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon, 1 p.m. You are going to make 5 samples, and for each of the sample, you are going to choose only 4 boxes. Clear to you? Good. So what we want to do is to begin to understand what we are going to do. Now, go back to, I think the best way to do it is to use Excel. So turn with me, open an empty sheet. Open Excel file. I think, let me see if we have enough time. My concern is that we do not have enough time. So we need to be quick. How I can be quick? Let me see. Perhaps we could choose the solution. Okay, so let's see. That's interesting. Is that there is supposed to be 16. Okay, I'll figure it out. It seems like we have a problem.
This is why I'm messing up here.
That's why you say that, right? I'm sorry then. There is supposed to be, because the file says 9 to 16, but the 16 is not available. Okay, good. So we have to begin from an empty cell, no problem. So let's do this together real quick. I don't think it's too difficult. So what we are going to do is like this. Just input the data. Everything. Try it. Okay, so I will write your sample 1, sample 2, sample 3, sample 4, lastly I have sample 5. Are you here? Let's double check if all numbers are accurate. If so, then let's begin to understand the difference between the symbols, x bar and x bar bar. Step number 1, x bar. How do we find the x bar? Of course, this is easy. I will mention here, this is my x bar, okay, the average. So the average is of course this one, equal average. See? Like this. Good. So again, let me try to point out that this is exactly what I mean, because if you read the question, it says that each box of the cereal has to be 10 ounces, right? Each box, 10 ounces. But when we take a look at the data, it's not true. You can check it. Some of the box is below 10 ounces, right? Like this. But this box is well above 10 ounces, like 10.4. That's why I say it's impossible that the factory will maintain the weight, the quantity of products exactly as they specify, right? Sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes it's a little bit less. And that's why you have to control it, because otherwise clients will complain. So you get X bar. This would be considered as X bar 1, right? The X bar, the average for the first sample, this is equal to 10.1. So on average, the company is giving the client or the customer a little bit more than what they promised, because they promised 10 ounces, but they are giving 10.1, right? Clear? So we can drag down like this. See? So here I have X bar 1 until X bar 5. This is 9.9. The last one does not look good though. The last one means that in the afternoon, because sample 5 is in the afternoon, in the afternoon you begin to give on average inside the box less than what you promised to the client, because you promised, as I said, 10 ounces, right? Now we need to understand what X bar bar is. It's easy. To get an X bar bar, what you're going to do is to pick up any empty cell, type average, and you are going to average the whole thing again. You get it? That's why we call this X bar bar, right? The average of the average. we are averaging the average. And that's why we use the word the mean of the sample mean. See? Mean of the sample mean. Now, if you think of the mean of the sample mean, then it means that I can begin to draw a graph like this. And then the center here is going to be equal to how much? According to my exercise that I did just now, this would be 10.04. See? And then I'm going to have another two lines. This is what we call upper control level. This would be the lower control level. See? Now, to relate this to the statistic class, I know who can answer it. Because if the person cannot answer, then it means that he should get an F from the statistic class. Yongsuk, I know you. Mean of the sample mean follows approximately what kind of distribution? Mean of the sample mean follow exactly what kind of distribution? According to central limit theorem. Approximately? You're taking it. Yes or no? It will follow approximately normal distribution. Remember? We learned this from the statistic class. I mean, X bar, here I told you, it can be high or it can be low, right? So here, if I put here in the middle, X bar, statistically speaking, we have approximately a normal distribution. Yeah? Good? And then I can set like this. Like this. See? So when I draw a graph like this, the upper control level here is just this one, this statistic. While the lower control level here is just this one. So it's just a graph of normal distribution that we learn in statistics, and then we rotate like this. You see? We make it like this, and we rotate like this. The center here is the center here. This one become this one. This one become this one. Upper and lower. Right? So I can say that if I use the knowledge in statistics that I know, inside here, I can say 99.7% of the time. Clear? 99.7% of the time. Now, if I say here 10.04, yeah, and then I use the solution say upper control level, UCL, that's what I wrote here. Upper control level. The upper control level is 10.42. Got it? 10.42. And then the lower control level is 9.66. Clear? 10.42. Here is 9.66. Yeah? Now, this would mean what? 99.7% of the time, X bar is between 10.42 and 9.66. Okay? Like almost 100% of the time, each of these X bar has to be between the upper level and lower level. Clear? Good. So if I make a graph and it looks like this, no, this is inventory, stupid. So if I make a graph and it looks like this, then what does it mean? There is something wrong with my production process. Because I have already said that 99.7% of the time, right? Almost 100% of the time, it has to be between the upper and the lower bound. Clear? So even if it's just one time outside, your conclusion is that your process is out of control. Clear? Good? Now, to understand better, let's try to use Excel QM. You will understand it. If you use Excel QM, we're going to learn exactly this. Open Excel QM with me from the desktop, and then you are going to try like this. Once you open Excel QM, click on it by chapter, of course, and then we are going to click on, where is it? Linear programming, network, decision. Okay, let me check a few things. Okay, follow me. Excel QM by chapter. You need to click here, change textbook. See here? Change textbook. You are going to change to this one here. The one in the middle, Render Stair Hannah. Are you here? Good. Once you are here, then one more time, Excel QM by chapter 16, Statistical Quality Control. Got it? Good. And then click the one in the middle, X bar and R chart. Yeah? Clear? Now let's try. Click on this one. Title, up to you, does not matter. Sheet name does not matter. Now, important is the data here. Enter the number of samples. How many samples do we have?
4.
We have 5 samples. We sample 5 times, morning until 1 p.m. So we are going to put here 5. See? Good. And then enter the sample size. We have per sample how many boxes? We have 4 boxes.
4 boxes.
Remember? So we are going to put here 4. Clear? Good. And then click here graph. And then click here raw data. You need to click on both. Alright? Click OK. Then you are going to have an empty cell like this. So what we are going to do is very simple, because we already have the input here. Remember, we were trying to calculate this. So what you are going to do is to copy here, like this. You are going to copy, and you are going to paste it here. See? Are you here? Good. So here, automatically, you will have a graph like this, X bar chart. This is exactly what I tried to show you. See? Good. So here, in this case, every dot is inside the 2 bounds, upper and lower, right? If every dot is inside, we say that We say that the process is this one. Take a look at this exercise. Take a look at the cursor. The process is in control. Clear? Good? Now, you might question, then when would we have that the process is not in control? Follow me. Let's try to experiment. Sample 1, item 4. I will change this to 50. Okay? I click enter. Now what happened? There is one dot that is outside of the bowl, right? And then I will conclude that the process is out of control. Yeah? Which is a common sense. Can you understand why? It's a common sense that we have to conclude that there is something wrong with our machine and there is something wrong with our quality control. Can you understand why? Every box has to be approximately 10 ounces, right? That's what you sell to your clients. But it turns out that one of the boxes have 50 grams. So this is like a huge box. So there is something wrong with it. There is something wrong with the machine that produced the product, and you need to correct that. Or, let's try to change this. I will change this number to only one on. Clear? Let's see what happened. I change this to 1. Then I have another problem. What does that mean? Again, the process is out of control. Why? Because you cannot sell a product like this. If you sell the product like this, your clients will complain, right? Your client will open the box and they find that that box does not have exactly 10 ounces. It has only 1 ounce, very small, right? And your client will complain. Got it? So here, again, you have to sample and you have to check. Okay, if it's like this, there is something wrong with the machine. We need to stop the machine. Let's check what happened. And then you can continue the production, right? Like this? No good? Like this good. Why? Because statistically, we know that according to the central limit theorem, if it's a normal distribution, we can construct a bowl like this, and we know that inside is going to be 99.7% of the time. Okay? So it's almost 100%. If it's just like one time out, either here or here, you know that there is something wrong. Got it? Good? Excellent. So I nearly finished. Actually, I finished. So for this chapter, we learned only this. It's not big, but it will give you like idea to understand what we mean when we say statistical quality control. Question?
Professor, I see we have, if we take the midterm, then midterm exam, we have it on 17.
The quiz, you mean?
Yeah. So,
Good point. I
Yeah.
should mention it.
17.
We have the exam on,
Quiz.
we have the quiz. Okay, now you confused me.
Yeah, quiz
Mid-
is on 7. And
7.
if we take the midterm exam, then it's 17.
And the final exam is 17 years.
But-
I'll tell you why. Because I'll tell you the exact schedule. First of all, quiz 7, solution Friday. See? And then on this Tuesday, no class.
But
Now why, right?
I would like to suggest that
We make it here so that we finish early.
no.
Just
We have, so you said the final exam
Mm.
can be cancelled based on the situation.
Mm.
Depends on the situation. So that you said the quiz can be replaced
Yep. Mm.
So I would like to suggest that we have the quiz on 10 instead of 7
Ah.
because I manage my schedule based on the original exam schedule.
Okay, so we actually then we can have the quiz on the 10th, and then on Tuesday here we have the solution.
So I know Tuesday is makeup class day.
Wait, step by step. I'll explain to you what's going on. Yeah, sorry, Woodpin. According to the exact calendar, we have two makeup day. We have like here 14 is the makeup class. Clear? But it's a makeup class for the shoes of time. Yeah? But during the shoes of time, it was an online classes. And I already gave you all videos. So that means that I don't need to make another makeup class. So officially, according to the calendar, the 14th, we are going to have a makeup class, but since I have already done it, it means that on the 14th, there will be no class. Clear? So my original intention is quiz, solution, no class, exam. But if you want to do what you say, it can be quiz,
No, 10 is
quiz, solution, exam. You want this?
And 7 for makeup.
And then 7, we have no class. Because we need to have one day that we have no class. It's a makeup day, but I already gave you all the videos. Winpin?
December 10th, maybe the Wednesday class would be makeup day. Wednesday, not Friday. So if some students have Wednesday class another course, so maybe they will attend another course.
Ah.
That was not about the Friday makeup. It is about the Wednesday.
Okay. So I think to make it convenient for everyone, forget about, sorry, which Friday is Wednesday then?
Oh, 10th, December 10th.
December 10th
Yeah.
is a makeup class
Yes, for
for
Wednesday.
Ah, so it cannot be here. No way. That's not possible. So there is only one solution, which is the original schedule. 7. And then when would be the solution day? Okay, anyway, we have only one possibility for the quiz. 7. We're gonna do it here. And I don't wanna put the quiz and the exam on the same week. It's no good for you. You take the quiz first, and then you are going to have some time to study for the final exam. And as I said, if it's the same week, and if everything is cancelled because of the virus, then we are in deep trouble. Don't do that. Yeah? So I guess we have to stick with the original schedule. Tuesday 7 is the quiz. Alright? Any other question? If not, then take care. And for